I came from 3 experiences very quick, no, that I would like to share, and
Okay,
how
go
to
ahead.
meet this, no? For example, once I
He
was,
tenido 3 experiencias que me gustaría compartir contigo.
for example, I was in India in the bus, and then when I wake up and the sun was rising, I could feel that I become nothing and I become anything, you know. I just like Jane, as this metaphor, no, like Mary's wake up and I disappears, and it was okay for me because I didn't feel any fear, no, and then was blessing, it's okay, it's gone, finished, no.
Estaba un día en el autobús en India y sentí que de repente desaparecía y no era nada y no sentí miedo, simplemente sentí que era este vacío, como si Mary se despertara en una metáfora.
And another time I was with my partner, and then just out of nothing I just become kind of love, like I cannot explain, it was just like maybe take some second, I don't know, but I just could realize that what this real love means, because after I come back, like I come back from this shape and I start to see the world again from this mind condition, this, don't know, this shape, and then I feel, wow, I never tasted this before, no, it's not real what you have between man and woman like this, no.
Y otra vez estaba con mi pareja y sentí así de repente, sin ninguna razón aparente, que era amor, solamente amor. Y cuando volví, quizá a lo mejor fuera solamente un segundo, pero cuando volví a ver el mundo desde esta mente condicionada, me di cuenta que realmente nunca había sentido algo así, este amor, pero reconocía el amor que hay entre un hombre y una mujer.
But it's okay, was good, I didn't feel fear, no. But in this 30
Y
experience,
tampoco sentí miedo.
but the 30 that come to me was take long time, like almost 1 week. I feel like, if I can use your metaphor, like Mary wake up and Jane disappears, but you know, all my personal identity disappears, like personal feeling, thoughts, emotion, everything, you know, disappears, like I disappears like my identity, but I still exist, you know, like I was doing things, take care of my daughter, do everything, but it was so scary, you know, this, I stay like many days like this.
En la tercera experiencia estuve muchos días y sentí como mi identidad desaparecía completamente, como si fuera Jane que desaparece. Todos los sentimientos, pensamientos, sensaciones personales desaparecieron. Seguía haciendo cosas con mi hija y eso, pero la identidad personal desapareció y sentí mucho miedo.
And then I start to pray to God to come back to myself, you know, like I was not in touch with Advaita teaching in that moment. And I'm a little bit nervous.
Y empecé a pedirle a rezar a Dios para poder volver a mi ser. No conocía entonces la enseñanza Advaita.
Because it was nothing pleasure at all. It was just impersonal. Everything was so impersonal.
Porque no era agradable, era todo tan impersonal.
And now I feel like in this between, I feel like I'm not caterpillar anymore, but I cannot fly as a butterfly.
Y ahora me siento como entre medias, siento que ya no soy una oruga, pero no soy todavía la mariposa.
Yes, it's natural for there to be this back and forth for some time.
Es natural que durante un tiempo vayas y vengas en este sentido.
And go back and forth between your old perspective and your new understanding.
La ida y vuelta entre tu perspectiva antigua y tu nueva comprensión.
But in time your new understanding becomes more and more your natural state.
Pero con el tiempo tu nueva comprensión se convierte en tu estado natural.
And it doesn't prevent you from functioning very well in the world in relation to your family or work or whatever.
Y eso no impide que puedas funcionar de forma normal en el mundo con tu familia.
To begin with, there may be some slightly strange experiences
Al principio quizá hay alguna experiencia extraña,
as the old conditioning is replaced with this new understanding.
a medida que el antiguo condicionamiento se reemplaza con la nueva comprensión.
For instance, for some people it can be very disorientating.
Para algunas personas puede ser muy desorientador.
For other people, they completely lose any motivation to do anything.
Para otras pueden perder toda motivación para hacer cualquier cosa.
Because the old motivation has dissolved and the new motivation has not yet presented itself.
Porque la motivación antigua se ha disuelto y no se ha presentado una nueva motivación.
So there can be these unusual symptoms sometimes.
Así que a veces puede haber estos síntomas inusuales.
But don't pay too much attention to them.
Pero no les prestes mucha atención.
They're just your body and mind being recalibrated.
Es simplemente tu cuerpo y tu mente que están siendo recalibrados.
It just takes a little time to change over from one operating system to another.
Se tarda un poco en cambiar de un sistema operativo a otro.
Your personality came back
Tu
after
personalidad,
this episode.
tu personalidad ha vuelto después de este
Yes.
episodio,
But it comes back in the service of love and understanding.
pero vuelve en servicio del amor y la comprensión.
It's no longer serving the neuroses and fears of a separate self.
Ya no sirve las neurosis y los miedos del ser separado.
And it takes some time for this new understanding to inform all our thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, activities, relationships, etc.
Y lleva un poco de tiempo para que esta nueva comprensión informe todos nuestros pensamientos, sentimientos, sensaciones, percepciones, actividades, relaciones.
One day I was reading the biography of U.J. Krishnamurti, the different one, and he said he was sharing his experience. He said that when he got this awakening, he was so disappointed because he felt that he became like a robot. He was just like a robot. And then I remember my experience. I said, I just want to become like a robot.
Recuerdo leer la biografía de Krishnamurti en la que decía que después de su despertar se sentía como un robot y que estaba muy, muy desilusionado. Entonces eso me hizo recordar mi experiencia.
My experience was the opposite.
Mi experiencia fue lo contrario.
In my experience, the ego is like a robot, just functioning on conventional conditioning.
En mi experiencia el ego es como un robot funcionando a través del acondicionamiento.
Reacting in mechanical ways to almost everything.
Reaccionando de forma mecánica a casi todo.
And the recognition of our true nature is a liberation from that mechanical way of reacting and behaving.
El reconocimiento de nuestra verdadera naturaleza es una liberación de esa reacción mecánica.
It's a liberation from mechanical ways of relating with one another.
Una liberación de formas mecánicas de relacionarnos entre nosotros.
Our relationships are liberated from the tyranny of the ego.
Nuestras relaciones son liberadas de la tiranía del ego.
So that wasn't my experience at all.
Así que esa no fue mi experiencia para nada.
Fortunately, I have these two before. That was something different.
Sorry.
I have these two experiences before. That was more integrated. That I feel like, wow, and that was good, But
tuve suerte de tener estas dos experiencias previas que fueron muy positivas.
But there are examples which I'm sure you know about. You've given one example now. For instance, Ramana Maharshi, when he had his awakening experience, was so completely disorientated by it.
Y hay otros ejemplos, seguro que has visto más ejemplos también. Por ejemplo, Ramana Maharshi, cuando tuvo su experiencia, estaba completamente desorientado.
That he went to a cave for many years and had to have somebody to look after his body.
Que se fue a una cueva durante muchos años y necesitaba que alguien cuidara su cuerpo.
Eckhart Tolle is another example who was so disorientated by this understanding that he spent 2 years sitting on a park bench.
Eckhart Tolle es otro ejemplo que estaba tan desorientado por su comprensión que pasó 2 años en un banco de un parque.
It took both of them time to incorporate this understanding in everyday functional activities and relationships.
A los dos les llevó tiempo incorporar esta nueva comprensión en sus actividades y relaciones.
But if either of them had had good teachers,
Sorry, I didn't understand.
if either of them had had good teachers,
Si cualquiera de ellos hubiera tenido buenos maestros,
they wouldn't have taken nearly so long.
no habrían tardado tanto tiempo.
But in fact, neither of them had teachers at all after this awakening experience, so they had to work it out for themselves.
De hecho, ninguno de ellos tuvo maestros y tuvieron que buscarse la vida.
In fact, Ramana Maharshi, I believe somebody did come to help him in time and helped him to reintegrate this understanding.
De hecho, al Brahman Maharshi vino alguien con el tiempo para ayudarle a integrar esta comprensión.
For 3 years, I stopped all social life. Just job, by the way. No, not that I stopped, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like to move
No.
and just do retreat anytime I can. I go for the retreat. No, any Advaita retreat.
Yeah.
Durante mucho tiempo dejé todas mis relaciones sociales, iba de retiro en retiro, pero no tenía ganas de tener relaciones.
That's very common. Many people here, I'm sure, have had the experience or are going through the experience
Eso es muy común. Estoy seguro que hay mucha gente aquí que ha tenido la misma experiencia o está pasando por esa experiencia.
of becoming more and more deeply interested in this non-dual perspective.
De estar más y más interesado, más profundamente interesado en esta perspectiva no dual.
And in direct correspondence with that, losing interest in their previous activities and relationships.
Y en correspondencia directa con eso, perder el interés en las actividades anteriores.
The old activities and the old social gatherings which were there to fulfill the separate self are no longer deeply satisfying.
Las actividades y las reuniones sociales que estaban ahí para dar plenitud al ser separado ya no son interesantes.
Has anyone here, as a result of their interest in non-duality, not felt at some stage, I no longer want to go to that social gathering, or I no longer want to engage in this activity, it's no longer deeply satisfying? Has anyone here not felt that?
¿Hay alguien aquí que no haya sentido, después de su interés en la no dualidad, el no querer asistir a reuniones sociales o el no querer asistir a actividades antiguas?
My mother said to me once, you became interested in non-duality too early in your life.
Mi madre me dijo una vez, te interesaste en la no dualidad demasiado pronto en la vida.
While everyone else was enjoying themselves going to parties, you were just in your room reading Ramana Maharshi.
Cuando todo el mundo estaba disfrutando de la vida yendo a fiestas, tú estabas en tu habitación leyendo Ramana Maharshi.
But I'm enjoying myself now.
Pero estoy disfrutando ahora.
So it's natural to lose interest in these worldly activities, but it's also natural in time, after a period after a period of being in the desert, they begin to come back.
Es normal perder interés en las actividades y relaciones, pero después de un periodo en el desierto es normal volver.
I'm sure, apologies to those of you that know this story about Muhammad.
Y disculpas para los que ya conocéis esta historia sobre Mahoma.
Muhammad, when he was young, wanted to be a famous orator.
Mahoma cuando era joven quería ser un orador famoso.
And the reason he wanted to be a famous orator was because he wanted to aggrandize himself and be loved and respected by everybody.
Y la razón por la que quería ser un orador famoso es porque se quería engrandecer a sí mismo y ser adorado por los demás.
When he became interested in non-duality, or in his case, when he fell in love with God,
Cuando se enamoró de Dios, en su caso,
he lost interest in being a famous orator
perdió interés en ser un famoso orador
and just devoted himself to God.
y se dedicó completamente a Dios.
And then, sometime after he had found God,
Y un poco después de haber encontrado a Dios,
God said to him, I'm going to make you a famous orator.
Dios le dijo, te voy a hacer un famoso orador.
And Muhammad said, but I no longer want to be a famous orator. I only wanted to be a famous orator before I fell in love with you.
Dios le dijo, te voy a hacer un orador famoso. Y Mahoma le dijo a Dios, pero yo ya no quiero ser un orador famoso, solamente quería ser un orador famoso antes de encontrarte.
And God said, too bad.
Y Dios le dijo, se siente.
When you wanted to be a famous orator, you developed skills and qualities which I am now going to use in order to announce my presence to the world.
Cuando querías ser un orador famoso, desarrollaste capacidades que son fantásticas para ser un orador famoso y ahora las voy a utilizar para ello.
So we often find that interests that we have early in life, that we drop interests that we have early in life when we fall in love with truth.
Así que a veces sentimos que dejamos ir intereses que teníamos antes cuando nos enamoramos de la verdad.
But then those interests are later taken up again, but they're no longer used to fulfill the desires and the needs of a separate ego. They are used to express and share and communicate peace and intelligence and love.
Y cuando se retoman a la vuelta, esos intereses no se utilizan para lo mismo que se utilizaban antes, ahora se utilizan para expresar amor y belleza e inteligencia.
So you may be going through this arid period now.
Así que a lo mejor estás pasando por este periodo árido.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Disfrútalo mientras dure.
Because you may well find that qualities and interests that you previously had will come back, or new ones will develop.
Porque quizá encuentres que las mismas cualidades vuelvan, o quizá unas nuevas.